Tech companies last week lost over $900 billion in their valuations. We're going to talk about that. We're going to have a recap of the blue screen of death that brought the whole world to a standstill. We're also going to talk about what's coming up this week, trades that we have won on, trades that you should have an eye on, and so much more. Welcome back everyone to Buy Old Sell. I hope of course you are all well. So good to be doing the week ahead videos again. It's been a long time. We are ramping these back up. There is so much to get through in today's video. I don't even know where to start. Well, let's start with the assassination attempt that started last Saturday. Well covered. I'm not going to go into it, but Donald Trump was actually physically shot at and he took it like a G. I'm sorry for those that don't like Trump, but he took it like a G. Absolutely legend. Shots were going off. He's looking around going, who's shooting at me? Who wants me? Then he was on his knees and then he's up, arm up, cheering, big bloody face. Unbelievable scenes. This is going to be one hell of a movie. One of the most iconic probably pictures you'll ever see. Just insane. For me, Donald Trump is going to win the presidential election. I feel like that is literally a shot in the arm, if you excuse the pun, that he needed. This is going to be, in my opinion, a good thing for tech stocks. And I just want to touch on this initially. There is a lot of concerns about, oh, well, it's day of death for the EVs. If you go on and watch that actual rally, he talks about his partnership, his funding that he gets from Elon Musk. Elon Musk funds him $45 million. This is pittance, pennies to Elon Musk.
So Elon endorsed me recently, the other day, actually. He's great. Elon Musk. He's a brilliant guy. Every time I call him, he's talking about it. I got a new idea for a rocket. You have to hear this. No, it's true. Now, if that were government, you wouldn't see that for another 50 to 100 years. But it was Elon. But, you know, he's a very advanced person, and he's doing other things that are great, and so are other. We have to make life good for our smart people, you know? We have some smart people. We have to make life good for our smart people. And he's as smart as you get.
Donald Trump spoke very highly of Elon Musk and he actually said there is a space. The EVs are the future, but right now it's not sustainable. We can't go fully into that. So it's kind of a hybrid. It's kind of a makeshift house. So he is going to back his oil giants. He is going to pump all the money into that as he done on his first term. But this time around, there is a bit of a focus to EVs. And as I said on this channel many a times, with Tesla being based in America, solely California is the ground base. And then we also have American Battery Technology, which is in the recycling battery sector, which is America in America, lithium mining in America. I think these sectors are the future, and I think Donald Trump will support them because they're American. And that is what he's about. Now moving on to our next hot topic was the IT global shortage, the blue screen of death. It is ridiculous that we live in this world where this can happen, and I've got some very interesting things to bring up about this here. Cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike. First thing I want to say is, why does Microsoft use CrowdStrike? The biggest platform in the world, the biggest operating system in the world is Microsoft. Why in blue hell do they have an outsourcing center that deals with their security? Why don't they have that in-house? I suppose it's probably so they can pass the blame when things inevitably go wrong, but it's massively a concern because you know what I found? People didn't know how to fix the problem. It was played down. It was a massive problem. Why was it played down so much? Well, the reason it was played down so much is because fear, panic, shareholder stock price. Those are the things that they didn't want to do, so they played it down, and it is an absolute disaster. Blue screens of death were affected all over the country, all over the world. If you go onto their website, you'll see it says something like 60 minutes can destroy your business of downtime. Airlines were affected. Delta, Spirit in America had to down flights. It affected UK, affected Europe. Flights could no longer go. They had to write paper ones to try and get them on. What? And then on top of that, what you actually had was misinformation coming out. People saying that this company's going to be investigated. Oh, but there's no official news. Well, the official news couldn't come out because the systems are down. That caused a huge volatile market. As we know, the market does not like uncertainty. Huge amount of uncertainty. Market sold off because of that. Part of the reason why last week was so brutal. And you have to look at some of the markets that did okay. India, Russia, China, no problems there. Why? Because they don't rely on this shit show. And that's obviously the conspiracy theories are, oh, it was a cyber attack and all of this, and it might very well be. I have no idea. No one really truly knows these things, but we'll take things as gospel, because put it this way, CrowdStrike, you wouldn't want to put your hand up to say it was your fault if it really wasn't. Don't worry, it's not all doom and gloom, because like everything, when there's a mistake, there's a lesson learned. Microsoft and CrowdStrike have came out and said, guys, it's okay, we're going to put better measures in place for the future. So I have absolutely no reason to doubt that will happen, and I'll just be interested to see what does this actually mean. Are they going to increase security? What are you going to do to increase security? Watch this space. Now let's get into the hot topic. Did the market start a tech bubble? Was the bubble about to burst? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at the SPY initially. We can see here that the SPY has become a sell on the day chart. Now I feel that this is very much welcomed. Any of those that checked the live stream out on Tuesday, we talked about the SPY. I believe that there was a healthy cool off required, and that's what I fully believe this is. A bit like what we've seen prior. We've seen it here, it dipped. We've seen it here, it dipped, and it's just pushed on. And the reason I think it sold off so badly is because of the reasons that we've talked about. The Nasdaq is the exact same, but look at how much this is sold off, how healthy this will be. So we're watching for the rebound. Now, one of the key things that I was also looking at last week, as I also mentioned on the live stream, was the Russell. This has been a fantastic trade. Bought this on Tuesday. And currently up 9%. Those again that watched the live stream, we did the live trade right there. I identified this as one to be buying. We jumped in and we have closed that position. Picked up about 10% because I was again 2 times leveraged. That was lovely. And I believe that these types of things are going to rebound. We've talked about it before about valuations, and we're going to look at the average PE valuations in a moment. But if you actually look at a load of articles that are coming out here, granted this is the Motley Fool, so take it with a pinch of salt, but one Russell 2000 ETF to buy ahead of the small cap bull market. We have talked about the fact that the Nasdaq and SPY have been pushed on, but they're really only pushed on by the Magnificent Seven. I'm not going to cover it too much because we did talk about it in detail in the live stream. It was about an hour long, that live stream on Tuesday, so feel free to check it out. But in short, if you look at the majority of the S&P 500, they've been in a bear market for about 18 to 24 months. One of the longest bear markets in history, believe it or not. Now, it doesn't look like that because of the top boys at the top, but their valuations are justified in my opinion because of this tech bubble, because of the AI bubble, because of the shortages and chips and all the good stuff that comes along with that. And if we look at some PE ratios, Nvidia stock is sitting currently, even after this sell-off, so it was much higher, at $69. That is really high for any PE ratio. A good PE ratio should be around about, say, well, the lower the better usually is a good sign, but anywhere between 20 and 30 would be a fairly safe, doing well company, nothing to panic about. Anything above 50, you're in the territory of you're overpriced. And this is sitting at 69. Company that I'm very bullish on would be Elon Musk's Tesla, and it sits at $61. Let's have a look at Microsoft after all the craziness that happened last week. Their PE ratio is 37, so it's maybe a bit on the lighter side. We look at PE ratio of Meta, 27.44, so that is in the category that I say good, strong, solid company. Not too high, not too low, just nice. We look at Amazon, it's sitting at about 51, which is just broke into that territory. And we can't forget about Apple, one of the biggest companies as well in the world, and it's sitting at a respectable 34.88. So if you looked at all of them, it's a bit of a mixed bag. Some are quite low, some are high, some are in the middle, and these are the biggest companies in the world. This little chart here provides you with the PE ratios for the S&P 500, and I have switched it to all. As you can see, we're at 28, and about here would be sort of around 30 plus, and this is identifying the safe zone. Anything above that gets a bit scary, but we're not there yet. And the key word being there, yet. You can see what happens usually when we get above this. It starts to sell off, it starts to get cool. And what I was reading there about the Russell 2000 and also the likes of the S&P lower end stocks is that these are crashing hard. What happens when they turn around? That's going to really drive the average price up of these things. And we also have Donald Trump, as I said at the start of this video, is likely to get into power. I feel like the market will push on. I feel like the S&P is going to cool off here, just like the Nasdaq. I think it's going to cool off here, settle down, turn around and push on. It's just my thoughts. Do your own due diligence, of course. Look at some of the big earnings reports that are due to come up here. The banks, again, no surprise, had a strong earnings report. We're going to start rolling these out, and I think these things are all just cooling off for big earnings, big smash, and we're going to push on and we're going to go to all-time highs. I feel like that's what's going to happen, but I'm very wary of the switch. Is the switch going to be as we've covered on the channel many times, when the Fed pivots, when they finally decrease rates, usually the market sells off shortly after. I feel like that, the presidential election, this high PE ratio, once those small caps start to go, which seem to be happening now, it feels like something's bubbling it up, but in the imminent future, i.e. the next few weeks, absolutely not a chance it's going to happen, in my opinion. And I could almost dare say it won't happen until after the election, which is in November. So we've got probably a good 3, 4, 5 months here, right up until the end of the year, that the market, in theory, excluding World War III and all that, should have a good run. Shout out to all the new members here that joined last week. We can see a good lot of people joining in. That was great to see. We've been doing some great trades on Bitcoin. We've been putting them into the Discord. We've been doing some great trades on Tesla, putting that in the Discord. We also jumped on Monday, I forgot about this, the Donald Trump stock, the media company stock. Easiest money I've ever made in my life. My only regret was I should have just cashed it out initially. I set a stop loss to try and see if it would sell, but yeah, still got nice gains on it by 26%. What fundamentals are to come? Well, investors are counting on earnings to calm the 900 billion US tech rout. This is coming from Reuters, and don't forget, there is 2 articles down below that Reuters featured me in. If you wish to have a read at them, good reads as always. So this Tuesday we have Tesla and we have Google, both reporting. That'll be very key to see that. I have a substantial enough position in Tesla, and I will be doing what I usually do and sell quite a substantial amount of it before earnings, because I don't like playing earnings. I feel like it's just always a towing cost. And let's have a look at this little graph that the writers have done here. You can see the Russell 2000 is flipping. Look at these ones are going down, and the small financial sectors and the Russell 2000 is turning, something that we have projected and covered on this channel months and months ago is finally starting to play out. There is another company that I've been invested in that I'm keeping a close eye on, is Hims and Hers. Year to date up over 100%, it's been phenomenal, but in the last week it sold off 12% with a bit of a hefty enough jump on Friday downwards, and that is supposedly because they're getting investigated again with the IT shortages. I minimized my risk here. I sold half on Friday. I'm going to leave till Monday, see what the news, see what the dust settles like, and then go back in on this position. They have Ozempic, which is the weight loss drug that every single celebrity seems to be taking. They now do it over their subscription package. I feel like this is a huge fundamental advantage that they have here. They're smart, clever marketing, and I believe that this could be something that's going to be a huge catalyst for them. Their earnings are coming out, I believe, next week or the week after. Very keen to see how the Ozempic money is firing in. I just need to be sure that they're not getting investigated. I am a bit nervous about what Ozempic could do long term to people's bodies, so just have to be a bit careful there. But in the short term, it looks to be a winner, and that is the video. Please like, subscribe, help me grow the channel. I appreciate everyone that does do that. We're going to be doing a lot more live trading in the Discord and online, so make sure to subscribe and hit the alert bell, and I will see you all during the week. Enjoy this financial week ahead, and of course do your own due diligence.